Yo, I found something crazy about the Quran today, and I had to share because I haven't really heard anybody speak about it, and this is the first time I'm learning about it, and I thought it was crazy. So, essentially, everything in the universe is based off of the golden ratio from galaxies to plants to waves to hurricanes, fingerprints, so on and so forth, okay? This even boils down to us as human beings and art itself. Art you find like aesthetically pleasing, such as like the Mona Lisa. Everything essentially that you find attractive or it looks good or aesthetically pleasing is based off the golden ratio. So there's a study published online in June 2027 by Khalid Al Fay, and he was from essentially university in Jordan. And it's essentially a mathematical phenomenon in the Quran of earth shattering proportions, essentially talking about the golden ratio. So the golden ratio is up here, which is 1.618. And these are the elements that Khalid used to determine the Quranic constant. So right here, I'm going to let you pause the screen for a second and essentially read over the elements used to determine the Quran constant. So Khalid used something called the Ajbad system, which is essentially giving Arabic letters numerical values. So you can see it on the left side over here. So next, Khalid had to essentially calculate the whole Ajad value in the top left over here of the three components that were mentioned before the Quran, and you can find them here. The first one equals of all the chapters, all the surahs, the verses, words, and letters equals to this number right here. The second one, the 19 letters that constitute Bismillah, and so on and so forth, right here. The third one of the Ajab values of the 652 letters and the names of the 114 chapters are found right here. And in total, he had to essentially calculate all of them up, which is that right here. So the next number Khalid had to calculate was the total sum of the number of every individual verse in the Quran. So for example, the first chapter has 7 verses. So it was 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 equals 28. Chapter 2, or the second surah, has 286 verses. So he did 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way down to 286. And he did this for all 114 surahs, which gave us the total, which is this prime number right here. So the Quran constant number is this one right here, 70.449112444, and which we got from essentially the first three elements and combining them, and then essentially using the verses from each chapter to get this prime number right here. So if you take the amount of surahs in the Quran, or chapters, 114, and you divide it by the Quran constant number, essentially you get the golden ratio, which is unbelievable. So the crazy thing is, not only does everything in nature contain the golden ratio, but so does the Holy Quran, which is unbelievable. I don't know how you cannot believe that it's not sent from God. And there's a few more things I want to point out as well. So if you take this prime number right here and you add the sum of its digits, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7, that equals 28, which is the total number of Arabic letters in the alphabet, in the Arabic alphabet. And if you multiply each digit of this prime number right over here and you add it all together, you get 114, which is the total number of chapters or surahs within the Quran. The last one is the prime number. This prime number here is the largest prime factor of this palindrome. So palindrome is something that can be forwards, it's the exact same forwards as it is backwards, which you see this number here. Secondly, the greatest prime factor of a 9-digit rep digit is this prime number right here. And thirdly, when any 3-digit number is multiplied by our prime number and 3, the result will always be the same 3-digit number replicated 3 times. For example, 111 times our prime number times 3 equals, there you go. Man, I don't care what anybody says. This is impossible. Like, impossible to be a coincidence. There's so much more like mathematical concepts within the Quran. It's impossible that a human created it. It's completely impossible. So, subhanallah, Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar.